Imagine this. You're standing in front of your crush, heart pounding, palms slick with sweat. Every word you say feels like a misstep. Every silence, a chasm of judgment. You try to impress them, jokes too forced, compliments too eager, only to watch their interest flicker and fade. Here's the cruel paradox. The harder you try to be liked, the less authentic you become. And in that moment, you violate Carl Jung's law of authenticity. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. You contort into a version of yourself you think they'll desire, burying the very traits that could make you magnetic. Why does this happen? Why does the fear of rejection twist us into strangers? And what if the key to being desired isn't performance, but surrender? The answer lies in the shadows of the psyche, where longing and self-deception collide. The tragedy isn't that you failed to charm your crush. It's that you abandoned yourself in the attempt. Carl Jung called this the persona, the mask we wear to meet expectations. But beneath it lurks a deeper terror. What if my true self is unlovable? Nietzsche warned of this. You must become who you are. Yet we flee from authenticity, fearing rejection more than self-betrayal. Philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre saw this as bad faith, the lie we live to avoid the dizzying freedom of being fully known. Society worships the curated self, the polished illusion. But Jung's law of authenticity reveals the cost. The more you perform, the emptier you become. Your crush doesn't fall for a character. They crave the electricity of a soul unmasked. So why do we keep dancing this futile pantomime? Because facing the abyss of our own truth is far more frightening than any rejection. But what if the abyss holds your salvation? Every time you dim your truth to please another, a quiet erosion takes place, not just in their perception of you, but in your very being. Cognitive science reveals a chilling mechanism. Self-alienation reinforces itself neurologically. The more you act contrary to your nature, the more your brain rewires to accept the false self as real. Jung called this the shadow's revenge. The buried parts of you grow louder through repression, erupting as anxiety, insecurity, or worse, a life lived in perpetual performance. Viktor Frankl's existential warning echoes here. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. But you've done the opposite, changing yourself to control the uncontrollable, another's desire. Cultural conditioning worsens it. Social media, romantic tropes, even language itself trains you to seek validation through artifice. Yet the law remains. Authenticity attracts. Desperation repels. Your crush doesn't want a script. They want the thrill of discovering you. But the deepest consequence, you forget who you even are. And that, not rejection, is the true tragedy. The escape begins with a single terrifying act: stop performing. Jung's antidote to the persona was individuation, the ruthless pursuit of wholeness. Nietzsche called it amor fati, loving your fate, your flaws, your unpolished edges. This is the rebellion, to stand before your crush not as a beggar of affection, but as a sovereign being. Psychologist Viktor Frankl's words pierce through. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose. Seize that space. When anxiety whispers, they'll reject the real you. Defy it with Jung's law. I would rather be whole than good. History's magnetic figures, from Socrates to Frida Kahlo, seduced minds not by pandering, but by the audacity of their imperfection. Attraction thrives on tension, not submission. So let your hands shake. Let your words stumble. But let them be yours. The paradox? The moment you cease to care if they like you, that's when they lean in. Here is the silent epiphany that rewires everything. Your crush was never the prize. Your wholeness is. Jung's law of authenticity was never about them. It was about you stepping into the terrifying light of your own existence. When Sartre wrote, "Hell is other people," He meant the hell of living through their gaze, but the paradise of self-ownership awaits those who stop seeking mirrors and become the sun. The ancient alchemists sought to turn lead into gold. Your alchemy is simpler and far more radical. Turn your hunger for love into a furnace of self-creation. Every moment you waste contorting for approval, you rob the world of the only thing it truly needs from you, your unmasked presence. So let this truth haunt you. The right people don't fall for the version you manufacture. They ignite when they witness the version you dared not show. Now, burn the mask.